because there's just so many good stories within our school districts and within every classroom. I just wish there was a photographer sitting in the back of the room and somebody that could just record all of the great things that are going on every day, because it's just being there every day. I'm so proud to be a part of that. And I don't know that I have had any influence on it at all, but just to see those teachers work with those kids, to see those bus drivers have those conversations with the preschooler that about Santa Claus or Christmas coming up. I mean, it's so refreshing, so heartwarming. Like every day I'm so energized after being around those kids and being around those people that care about those kids and want to help them reach their full potential.
Actually, this kind of gets into why I've decided to start doing this thing. Just kind of basically telling on people for doing good. So a couple of years ago, I was at Eastern dropping something off, and Mr. Bush, Sean, who I've always had an immense amount of respect for. I think this was probably the second week of June. I'm assuming the kid was in summer school. He was sitting there tutoring a kid in math.
Yep.
And I asked him afterwards, and I was like, so is this like some sort of arrangement that you have? He's like, no, they just needed some help, and, it's something that I enjoy doing. And so I posted that on social media because I knew that nobody else was going to, and not because they didn't care, because they weren't there. And he never would have sought recognition for that.
No.
And that ended up getting 300-400 likes, if I recall, a bunch of shares, people piling on about that. And I think that's one piece that's kind of missing in society. Yes. And I just, that, like I said, that kind of gets to why I want to do this is, not only sharing local wisdom. There's plenty of opportunity to get wisdom from people from New York or Los Angeles or Washington, D.C. or these big business leaders. There's not a lot of sources out there for people to learn how to be successful in a small town. Right. And by success, I mean that in every possible definition. So that's kind of what this is. It's, in a lot of ways, it is telling those stories and talking to those people and letting people know some of the good things that actually are going on in this community.
Let me say one real quick. Sean is a good friend of mine. I love that guy. And like you said, he would do anything for anybody and not want any recognition for it.
In fact, I'm going to interject. I'm pretty sure he was mad at me because I posted that.
I believe that. Yeah. That sounds like him. And the other one I'll say is Cheryl, his sister, who's a guidance counselor. I was joking with her the other day. I said, Cheryl, I'm going to be your hype man. And she's like, what does that mean? And I'm like, oh. I said, you've watched a rap video before, right? I said, Flavor Flav. And she's like, what? What are you talking about? So I was like, I'm your hype man. You're doing great things. And Sean's the same way. He doesn't have social media. I said, you guys are doing amazing things, but we got to tell this story. We have to put that narrative out there because somebody's going to tell the story one way or the other. I want to make sure that we get out the story of what you guys are doing positive. And Cheryl and I have worked together on some surveys of some student data, some CCP data, as far as what we want that to look like going forward for our kids, and just having those conversations about what opportunities we want to try to provide for those kids. And they put in so much work. And Mrs. Burrow at the elementary, she has social media, but for obvious reasons, I don't think she's on there a lot. But those guys do such good work, and our teachers do such good work. And like I said, I wish there was a photographer there all the time. I want to go around and tell those stories all the time because it's just such powerful work that they're doing. And I get it because everybody's just so stinking busy just trying to do what's right for those kids that you don't think about telling that narrative of what they're actually doing. So that's one thing I've tried to focus on as I got there is try to get that communication out that you have no idea how great this actually is.